Two people are dead after a fatal collision in southwest Louisville. According to police, around 1:30, a car ran into a semi-truck on the Greenbelt Highway near Logistics Drive. They say the semi was making a left turn onto Greenbelt when a driver crashed underneath the trailer at a high rate of speed. The driver of the car and the passenger died at the scene.
Now that the word interim has been removed from her title, Metro Police Chief Jacqueline Gwen Villarroel is vowing to restore confidence in the department.
However, the pressing concern remains the escalating violence in the city. Isaiah Kim Martinez and photojournalist Philip Merle sat down with the chief and went over a recent video highlighting the issue.
Few videos evidence Louisville's violent crime problem more than this surveillance footage from June, captured and given to us by Vendome Copper and Brass Works, a local business in Butchertown, showing young people with guns firing at will down the street.
Have you seen this video before?
I have seen the video before.
We showed the video in person to Jackie Gwen Villarroel, the newly named full-time LMPD chief.
We're trying our best to identify those individuals. The division commander put together a plan in order to address that particular area.
Now her department to lead. A week removed from the announcement, Chief Gwen Villarroel is detailing specifics to WHAS11 News on what we can expect to see moving forward.
You're going to see increased visibility from our folks. We're doing walking patrols. We got our horses out there more. Got ATVs.
So you're saying there will be increased patrols?
Absolutely.
In specific areas or across?
Specific areas, wherever the need is, you'll see that.
There's a renewed call from many in the community for more officers patrolling the streets, given the persistent crime plaguing just about every district. Gwen Villarroel promising new initiatives.
What does community policing specifically look like differently?
Being more intentional about how we engage the community. So what does that look like? We may have a Meet Your Beat Officer Day, where the community can actually come in and meet the beat officer that's serving your community on a regular basis. Now we got a face, we got a name, we're having a conversation, and so now when I see you in the grocery store, I'm able to wave more freely. When I'm driving down the street, I'm able to stop my car and say, how are you doing? Because now I've had some interaction with you. We have to do that.
We also talked about the Department of Justice report. Gwen Villarroel will be part of the negotiations with the feds to determine the terms of federal oversight LMPD will work under for the foreseeable future.
And so the DOJ is going to have their proposal. We're going to be able to have ours and look at how we can come in the middle and make an agreement that is going to benefit the department, but also to benefit the community.
Police agencies across the country warning other police departments to narrow the scope of reforms in the contract.
Are you willing to push back, though, to make sure it isn't too much for your department to handle?
We're willing to push back on those things that are just not going to help us to be successful. We want to make sure that we're negotiating the things that we can measure and that we can actually complete. That is the goal.
Isaiah Kim Martinez, WHAS 11 on your side.
The chief's plans involve more officers placed on the streets. Right now, LMPD has a class of 31 cadets currently going through the police academy. For some context, it's an increase from March when 23 cadets were in the academy. Some
scary moments on Capitol Hill when Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell had to step away from the podium after freezing and becoming unresponsive mid-sentence. Take a listen.
This week has been good bipartisan cooperation and a string of
This was very scary. If you saw this, you can see fellow Republicans starting to sense something is wrong. They ushered him away from the podium. He did return a few minutes later, insisting that he was okay. McConnell is 81 years old. He had just stepped up to the podium to deliver some remarks about the National Defense Authorization Act before trailing off. We did contact his office. They told us McConnell told an aide that he felt lightheaded. You'll remember back in March, he did take a hard fall at a D.C. hotel and suffered a concussion.
Norton Healthcare is now facing a federal class action lawsuit in connection to what Norton called a cyber event from earlier this year. The lawsuit alleges Norton maintained private information in a reckless manner and failed to take the steps to secure it. Plaintiffs argue their personal information, including names, addresses, birthdays, social security numbers, and financial info, has been stolen by hackers. They say it's put them at risk of identity theft and fraud. In a statement, Norton Healthcare said it intends to vigorously defend itself against litigation and will not comment on pending cases.
Happening today, the attorney attorneys for Dr. Keish Kumi Price and the Louisville Urban League are set to present their cases in court. Back in June, the Urban League asked the judge to dismiss the lawsuit brought on by its former president. Kumi Price accused the organization of financial wrongdoing. She claims she was fired after uncovering the organization had misused grant money. The league says there's no proof to back up her allegations. Today's oral arguments are set to start at 1:30.
And today is a big day for some Southern Indiana students. Silver Creek schools returned to the classroom this morning. The 4 schools in Sellersburg serve nearly 3,000 students. Renovations are still underway at the high school. Updated football, softball, and baseball fields are included in the first phase of construction. Superintendent Chad Briggs says the football stadium should be open for the first home game on August 18th. All 3 phases of renovations are expected to take 2.5 to 3 years. Here are some of the other schools that are starting next week. We got Floyd County on Tuesday, Grayson and South Harrison on Wednesday, Bardstown, East Washington, North Harrison, and Salem on Thursday, and then Scott County District 1 returns on Friday. We've got all of those dates for you on our website, WHAS11.com. And as you're gearing up to send your kids back to school, we would love to see those first day of school pictures. Send them to us at 502-582-7290. You might just see your little student right here on GMK.
1 year ago, eastern Kentucky was overcome with historic flooding. More than 36 people were killed and hundreds of homes were destroyed. Now, that flooding was catastrophic. It was sudden. A reported 8 to 10 inches of rain fell in just 48 hours. People in Letcher County were left waiting on top of roofs just to get help. 44 people died in total. For some of the National Guard members who were there, they say the destruction that they saw was unlike anything they'd ever seen.
It was a flood like I'd never seen. I've been doing this for 16 years now.
We were getting phone calls from people who had lost touch with their loved ones, and they were just trying to make sure they were okay, so we were fulfilling those health and welfare checks.
More than $40 million in FEMA grants have been approved for more than 5,000 households in eastern Kentucky.